Abia North Senator Orji Uzor Kalu has urged the warring parties in Rivers State to sheathe their swords and allow peace to reign in the state. Kalu gave the admonition when he paid a courtesy visit to the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, on Friday, while emphasizing the importance of peace and reconciliation. Kalu advised Fubara to reconcile with his predecessor, Federal Capital Territory Minister Wike, saying that peace will be in the best interest of the state. He informed the Rivers Governor of his plan to involve President Bola Tinubu in facilitating a speedy reconciliatory and reconciliation process. Yes, sir. Once again, we're back on this matter, but we will never be tired of discussing Rivers politics.
On Rivers politics.
Yes, yes. Rivers politics is...
This is our domain. Yes, this is our home.
Exactly.
So we will not get tired of talking about
exactly,
Rivers until peace is achieved.
Definitely. And even after peace is achieved, we'll still talk for development.
And we will continue to critique the government,
exactly.
Taxing them on the need for, proper dividends of democracy that is grassroots rooted.
Very true, sir. So concerning this story at hand, Orji Uzor Kalu urging Governor Fubara to seek peace and reconciliation with Wike. I know that the domineering dogma, political dogma right now is work with the governor against any other person. Do not let him reconcile with any other opponent. Let him push forward and claim the state completely and wholly. But a seasoned politician in the person of Orji Uzor Kalu is asking him to toe the peace and reconciliatory path. Do you subscribe to that, or do you still subscribe to those other parts that say that he should put his foot down as the governor of the state and claim the leadership role that he ought to be in charge of, sir?
As you're trying to x-ray your question, a lot of things started running through my mind. First of all, it is germane to state that Orji Uzor Kalu, as a sitting politician, knows that peace is a panacea, through which the development, democracy, and good governance could be achieved. Remove peace and nothing will be achieved, because no sane investor will like to invest where there is no peace, where the government is in conflict with itself or the citizenry. So Orji Uzor Kalu has, taken a position which he himself, knows that it will be beneficial to Rivers people and the governor himself, because when we are going through the psychological course, they told us that you first of all become responsible to yourself first. Your parents can pay your school fees. If you don't decide to go to the lecture hall, it is your kettle of tea, because it's not your parents that will pay your school fees and also sit in the lecture hall to receive lectures for you and write exams. So one thing is to send you to school. Another responsibility than the onus lies on the student to take that opportunity and grab it with two hands. So Orji Uzor Kalu knows that it is not Uhuru that you have become a governor, but the impact and what posterity will judge you for is what is remaining next. Okay. Fubara will not contest a governorship election again to be a first-time governor.
Yes.
But what will be the question tomorrow is, what did Fubara achieve? He will not come to write a rhetorics or in the next generation that that his administration was prevented from performing. Nobody will take that. The stories might not be told as we are seeing it today, when posterity will be judging Siminalayi Fubara. So a wise counseling from Orji Uzor Kalu, though Nigerian politicians are quick to become counselors, but when it happens to them, they will not allow anybody to cancel them. Remember the problem he had with Enyini Abaribe?
Exactly.
Orji Uzor Kalu, I think he had about 3 deputy governors under his belt before he left office in 8 years, when he came as a PDP governor and a PPA governor. So we are students of history, but we will not throw away the message, but we can set aside the messenger, given his own antecedents. But we are taking the meat of the matter, which is the message of peace, which is what all of us have been clamoring for. Any other person who is advising Governor Fubara otherwise is inimical to his progress, is inimical to his success as a governor, is inimical to the progress of Rivers State, because those people, we classify them as opportunists and political jobbers and political crisis merchants who only want to be favored because they know that when the needful is done, they will not find their foot. None of them will be in that corridor of power because they cannot, pride themselves as people who can win local government election. They can't win a councillorship if you bring them on the pedestal of what River State politics is all about and what politics in Nigeria is all about. They cannot garner a vote that will win them a councillorship election.
But do you see a feasibility, the reality in the fact that there has to be a reconciliation between these two warring parties? Is it possible?
I have advocated that in different fora.
Okay.
And that is the only part that Fubara has to toe.
How does it do it?
He has to do it because when they had a gentleman agreement, we were not there. You and I were not there. There was a gentlemanly agreement that brought him to power. And remember what Saraki Diskin said, who is also a seasoned politician and a voice in South and Niger Delta, who during one of his courtesy visit to Fubara said that do not forget the human machinery. Because in everything, both those calling God and all that, bringing morality into what is happening, God cannot come down from heaven and ordain you. It is through the instrumentality of the human person that God manifests his spirit power. I am here now because it's through the instrumentality of ATN that the world is hearing my voice. If ATN is not here today, I might be who I am. Maybe people hear me on the radio and all that, but I may not stand on behind a camera to speak. So I may have other platforms, but this platform has been given to me by ATN. So somebody gave Fubara that platform. Irrespective of those who were qualified, he was not the only person qualified for governorship to stand the governorship election in Rivers State. He might not have, but somebody stood somewhere and saw something in him. That these people who are praising him today as the Messiah, as the conqueror of our time and all that, but somebody saw what they were not seeing then. We are all here in Rivers State. And that person is Ezenwonye Wike, who stood behind him. And there is always a peace pact. All wars ends on a round table. No matter how you shoot the guns, how you roll out the warplanes and jet bombers, it will end up on the round table. And there is always a window because this is politics. Fubara and the Wike, they are not dragging wives. They are not dragging lands. So it is for Fubara to go into himself and ask himself a question, the penitent question that, can I still go back to my godfather? Irrespective of you are the governor, nobody has taken the red pen away from you. But you have once the state is seemingly ungovernable for you, you can make the state ungovernable. That decision has to come from Seminary Fubara. And nobody can advise him on this part. Because when they were having their gentleman agreement, we are not there. It is only when a deal goes sour that the third party begins to hear, that you now start calling us into it. And I say no to that. You can always go back. It's like a marriage. The marriage is not broken because this is a political marriage. And there's interest. Let him find what that interest is and how to balance it. Anything that you cannot fix is debt. But on this part, this is fixable. This is political crisis, and this is not a family crisis that you say that can tear people apart. Let that interest, table it on the table and renegotiate. Okay. There should be a renegotiation. And on the last lap, what I will not take from what Orji Uzor Kalu has said is drawing the president of Nigeria into it.
I was about going there.
Yes.
I was about going to that question.
Okay, if you want to throw a light in the question, you can.
Yes. No, since you.
Okay,
since
then the president of Nigeria should not be dragged. I have said it in different fora. He's not our law. He's not the constitution. And he was not there when Fubara and the Wike had their gentlemanly agreement. We have not seen a Tinubu meddle in who emerges as the governor of Rivers State, even when he was holding sway in Lagos State. Even prior to his campaign, and emerges as APC presidential flag bearer, you know that we had our own in the person of Rotimi Amaechi. So he never dared, trying to, because Amaechi was holding sway on the APC in Rivers State. So he knew he has no need coming to canvass for delegate vote in Rivers State. So he rather played the politics that brought him apart with Nyesom Wike. So now, drawing Mr. President, who has tried in bringing a political solution, which the governor has blatantly refused to adhere to, because see what happened in the agreement. Everybody was there. There was a drafted resolution, and the governor went through it. They said, are you willing to sign? It was not only Rivers State, it happened in Ondo State. You remember that Kredolu and his former deputy then, Aidetiwa. It came to a time when Aidetiwa was found in this mix. We heard that somebody who will be in acting capacity of the governor was asked to sign whatever paper to his own detriment, that even if you do this, you will not get this. Because that Tinubu and the federal government is supporting his candidacy of being the flag bearer of APC today is emanating from somewhere, obedience. He obeyed even when he did not favor him. He said, don't remove any of the cabinet of Akredolu, and they do not do anything that will jeopardize the peace of these people. And he signed. And even to the extent of saying, if you do this, you have already signed the resignation letter. We had it. Then another pact, peace pact we had, or a political peace pact, which emanated as a resolution, is in Rivers State. Why did our own go sour? Because of these political jobbers, political opportunists, and those in the form and in the habit of running wherever the meet is. These are the people that are causing the rift between Nyesom Wike and the Fubara. Fubara came back and told us that he did not, after all, sign a death warrant. But what did we hear? At a time, we started hearing it is not, he signed by compulsion, he signed by coercement, he signed that after all, he cannot obey all of them. But what happened? He was the greatest beneficiary because the impeachment notice and the process of impeachment was withdrawn. Yeah. He is the greatest beneficiary because at a time, if the president had allowed that crisis to continue to fester, similarly, Fubara would have been a history by now. So for Orji Uzor Kalu to now say we want to drag the president into it, I say no to it. Because the president has done his bit and was rejected. And now, the elders and the political allies of Rivers State and Niger Delta should play their part. They should not only be seen in being in affinity with the governor or trying to, now a case of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Because when Nyesom Wike was holding sway in Rivers State, who among them could come out and speak? And that is why he's holding them, because of this same appetite. What they are doing to Fubara now, collecting from him, running to the governor, because you are not doing that for the sole purpose of the development and the benefit of Rivers State, but for selfish interest. And that is the politics we play in Rivers State. When Nyesom Wike was, all of them was going cap in hand begging. And when you have sold whatever integrity is left in you as an elder or an opinionist in the state, which is the eyes that you will use in facing Nyesom Wike and said, what will you even tell him? Are you going to tell Nyesom Wike to go and beg Fubara? Somebody who is a kingmaker that will go and beg Fubara? Or is it the onus lying on them to tell Fubara the truth? That no matter what it is, you can get this sorted out. Okay. It is you. It is the son that will go to the father. In the case of the prodigal son in the good books, we heard that it was the son who realized where he has erred and made a concerted effort to go and meet the father. And also, so it is in politics. Because believe it or not, Nyesom Wike has become an institution in Rivers State. It has become an institution in the political space of Nigeria, which I call the people are about to learn what they call the Nyesom Wike political theory, and the sagaciousness of the Nyesom Wike politics, the Wikeism, the trajectory of Wike ascendance, and his political play in Nigeria. Okay. And that is where it is going. So it behoves on Fubara to do the needful. Okay. But I don't see anybody who is calling the president or calling Nyesom Wike to go to Fubara as somebody who means well for what politics is all about in Nigeria, including the call made by Orji Uzor Kalu.
Okay.